All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 5 of menus class. How's everybody doing? Thursday. Feeling good? Wrapping up the end of the week. Getting close to the end of the block. Time to finish strong. So on that note, let's just hop into those quick details, right? If you've missed something, go back and knock it out. All right. There is still time. Nobody wants to repeat a class if you don't have to, right? Knock that work out. Discussion forums. If you checked your grades and you didn't get a full good job grade on your week 2 discussion forum, go back, reread that questions, right? Got to answer all components of those. Plus you have to engage in discussion with your classmates. We do have another discussion forum this week. Same requirements, right? You want to get that initial post knocked out by Saturday, so that allows for everybody to just kind of talk about what your reasonings are behind, why you want to make ranch dressing in-house versus not. We will go deeper into the assignment in a little while, but that is this week. Knock it out early, follow up, knock those out. If you've missed knowledge checks, get those out. Remember, as I mentioned in the first week of class, reading concepts, research materials, those are worth points. I've been sending out a lot of messages on Wednesday mornings for people who have not submitted work. That means you've been a whole week without doing any work for the class. This does not bode well, right? We need to make sure we're staying on top of that, okay? It's, again, professionalism, being on top of things, knocking that out. Life gets in the way, I get it. But this class is not hands-on. The readings are not that in-depth and the knowledge checks are really quick. So let's do it. Let's finish strong. Let's knock this out. Again, remember, it's like rapid fire this next week and a half, right? Week 5 is going to be due. And then we go into week 6 and it's basically over on that next Sunday. Plus, if you're in CU 222, same thing, right? Week 11 is going to be due on Tuesday. And then we've got class on Wednesday, and then that assignment is due on Sunday. So we're at the end, all right? So time to crank it out, all right? Cool. Now that we've got that business stuff taken care of, we can move into the fun stuff. So, well, we've got a few things to talk about tonight. I don't know if anybody got a chance to read any of the articles that I sent out. We obviously have a lot going on in the restaurant industry world right now. All of you are heading on to externship soon, right? So we do know that there are 2 options. One, doing I forget what they're calling it now, but basically it's an externship program that's at home, that's pretty high intensity, in-depth, a lot of work, a lot of research, and a lot of fun, and will really set you up for building your own business. Option 2 is getting out there in the field and getting your hands on in the industry, right? Now, what are we going to see that has changed? A lot, right? COVID. How are we moving forward? What's going on? What steps are restaurants taking? How are restaurants opening? What is the look of the industry? How is it different? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to tie that into service, okay? There are multiple styles of service, which is what this week is all about. What type of service is there in restaurants? Let's hear from you all first. What type of styles and service and styles of restaurants are there in the industry?
Like bars and grills?
Sure. What type of service would that fall under, do you think? Quick service, maybe? Are we thinking about, is that going to be French service?
It won't be fast food, I know, so I don't think.
Casual dining, right? Quick service, right? Something most likely quick service, okay. Yeah, so Peter's saying there's fast food, casual dining, high class, sure, fine dining. What else? What other styles of service are there? Who's ever eaten at a cafeteria? Buffet, yeah, Stephen, what else?
Outside dining?
You could have, yeah, I mean, definitely that is a style, right? Out patio, but what type of service would be involved in there? We've got buffet, catering. What else?
Well, formal, 5-star.
There you go. You've got formal dining service, right? Silver service. What else? Hibachi style, yeah, where you're cooking it right in front of there and the food is getting served right there. Great. What else? What's happening? How has the industry totally changed? What are we seeing a ton of?
Curbside.
Curbside, yeah, delivery, right? To go, grab and go, takeaway, mobile units, right? The list starts growing. Keep going, thinking about this, right? Hotel, room delivery, in-room dining service, right? Fine dining, Russian style, French style, American style. Cart, right? Okay, I think Butler, yeah, exactly. At first I saw butter and I was thinking, well, yeah, they might pass some butter around. But yeah, Butler, right? Butler service, sure. That would be, that would be hotel in dining room service, tableside serving, yeah, right? What about old school French dining? Has anybody ever eaten at a restaurant where the waiter or the maitre d' prepares perhaps a vinaigrette tableside or makes a Caesar salad tableside? Maybe they flambe bananas Foster's tableside, because you want to see that action. That is a part of the dining experience. You're seeing it happen.
Yes,
right in front of your eyes.
I see that every day because I work on a resort, a Club Med.
Okay.
Because I work everywhere. They put me work everywhere. I work on cold buffet, do everything. I work on pastry. I try to learn a lot. So
I love it, Bridget. That's awesome. Yeah, that's exactly what you want. That's a perfect experience, right? Getting moved around from station to station. What about you're at a buffet and I see Devin saying risotto and a parm meal. Yeah, sure, that's going to be done tableside as well, or in the back, close visual. What about hello? Let's think about breakfast.
Breakfast.
What do you, Bridget? Tell me what in addition to a buffet setup, what might you have at a breakfast buffet? What are you going to have?
Okay, at breakfast buffet we got cutting fruit. I always cut fruit. We got oatmeal, grate, sausage, bacon, fried potato, the small potato, they cut it in, and pancake. They just cook the pancake, French toast, everything. They just prepare.
Okay, what about
an omelet?
Have an omelet station?
Yes,
right?
omelet. They got a 1% for each. The omelet person and the one who cut the regular eggs. It's different. They don't cook. Everybody have their own station. Like me, when I work on breakfast before, I work on the fruit. I just cut fruit. And after I go in pastry, I make crepe. I just make a cookie, everything, because I try to learn. They send me work any station I try. That's why when the class start, I just listen. But I know everything a little bit better.
Wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, action stations, right? What about pasta stations, okay? These are really coming. What about a carving station? You guys, start thinking, start expanding your brain, right? Even if you can't go to these restaurants and experience this, look it up, right? Start doing research, start understanding what positions there are. Like we're just saying, she's working at a resort, right? Resorts, famous for having tons of food options, right?
Yeah.
Food stations. What about past hors d'oeuvres? That is also a style of service, right?
Yeah, the pasta. Sometimes they cook ravioli with Alfredo sauce.
Yeah.
Any day they make a different pasta.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes I help on the pasta station. I help on the Asian station. Sometimes I'm on the fish, because every place it's a station you have to learn. I learn a lot. Just I watch what they do. I ask them, how you do that? what
Yeah,
you know.
that's how you should learn, Bridget. That's a perfect approach, right? Watching, learning, and trying to get your hands in everywhere, right? So,
Yeah.
grill station, like Brenda was saying, lots of different styles of service, everybody, okay? That is the point here, okay? Remember, it is not just a one size fits all in the restaurant and hospitality industry. Many different styles of service, even the type of service that you're going to have at a bar, right? Marvin was talking about a bar, right? I might grab glasses pretty, maybe I have a tray and it's fine to have a tray. Maybe I'm going to work at an establishment where there are no trays. Everything is going to be done by hands. I'm going to be carrying wine glasses that are flipped over my hand appropriately. How do I serve wine? All these different styles of service, okay? Or, hey, a 3-in-1, right? Quick meal, grab that buffet. What's on the hotline? What's in the cold station? What's at salad bar? Tons of different options, okay? So now we take this idea of all these different styles of service, right? From the highest of end, right? Where you've got 10 glasses and 20 pieces of cutlery and 4 plates and napkins all set up when you sit down, right? White tablecloth, high end, to grab a plate, fill up your own plate, weigh it, pay it, go, right? What do we think that all of these very different styles, from the highest of high to the most chill, relaxed environment you can imagine, what do these all have in common in relation to what's happening now in our industry with COVID? Chef Mike knows. Chef Mike, talk. Let's hear. Chef
Okay,
Mike.
I'm going to do a transformation. Hold on.
Can I say something, Chef?
Sure.
Okay, now for the COVID and the reason.
Oh, wait. Sorry, Bridget. 1 second. Look, transformation. Chef Mike.
This is the new look in the industry. Anyway, where I'm at right now, masks. We're all wearing masks all day long as we work. Constant hand washing, constant sanitizing. Someone sits down, they get up, we sanitize right away. No one's allowed to touch utensils. We serve all the food. We used to be, like, I'm in a hospital, we used to be a buffet, and we have room service for our patients. But the buffet is a service now. And everyone has to be 6 feet apart. Our dining room has totally changed into we got these 6-foot tables, and there's only 2 people at an angle that are allowed to sit at the tables. The industry has really, really changed. We actually have people walking around the cafeteria. If people, like, they're policing, if they're getting too close, we make them go apart from each other. So it's a new world in the culinary industry. We had a very strong catering business. It's dead. It's gone. We're trying to figure out how we can get back into the game. We're looking at new technologies for opening up buffets again. They're coming out with these glove things that air blows the gloves open, and the customer would shoot their hand into it, grab a utensil, like a throwaway utensil, for each thing, and serve themselves. We're trying to figure out the safest thing, because people, where I'm at right now, like, everything was under control, but now it's starting to, the virus is coming back in our area because of the reopening, the stuff that's been going on recently with people out, in the streets, and, and people, like, I was in a gas station this morning, people, like, acting like it's gone. I was the only person with a mask on. But yeah, the industry is totally changed right now. I haven't gone out to a restaurant yet. Like, I know Applebee's and all them are open yet. I haven't walked into any of them yet and see what they're doing. But I know in our facility, we are very, very strict, and, we sanitize. you know, because, you know, we want everybody to be safe, you know, and that's our main goal. That's the new norm for now, safety. We, you know, we want people to feel safe. And, but yeah, this is the new reality for now. Hopefully it doesn't last long. You know, we got a hand raised, Marvin. What's up, Marvin?
So, Chef Michael, so what if it's a family and then it's more than two, like a family of four, something like that? So how do your restaurant manage with the family? So if I come in with my family with four, you're gonna make us split, you know, sit out, you know, from each other? How y'all do that?
Well, I'll find out. Like right now in the hospitals, we're not letting anyone in. So this is all staff members.
Okay, you working at the hospital? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but a hospital. But we had a heavy, you know, we had a lot of people come into our establishment. And Wednesday, like if there's if I was a restaurant owner and a family came in of four, and those rules applied, me knowing how serious this is, I would make everybody sit at two tables, you know, just, you know, 6 feet apart, you know, and as long as you guys are near each other, you know, you just sit a table away from each other, you know. That's the way I would handle it. You know, it's not trying to be mean or keep everybody apart. We're just, you know, safety, I guess, you know, so. It's, you know, it's up to the business owner to decide that too, you know. You don't want to be that restaurant that has a, you know, that you guys are responsible for, you know, having a little bit of an outbreak because you guys weren't following the rules, you know. Bridget? You got a question?
On the result, before people just take a food with their hand, but now you have use a little small bowl. You have to serve them. Those customers, you don't let them take.
Yeah, that's
food.
what we're doing.
Yes, you have
Yep.
always put mask. In the morning when you come, they just take your temperature.
Yep, we do that. Yep. It's a new world.
When you come, you wash your hand before you punch in, after you punch in, every time. And you have to serve the customer, the small, anything now it's small, not a big piece, not a lot. So anything you have, it's managed. It's really hard. The customer just complain about that, but we don't have any choice.
Yep, you got to do it. You have to follow the rules.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. So class, this is a perfect example, right? We're talking about normal situations where if you walk into a buffet, right? You know, we have those spoons, ladles, serve yourself. You're walking down with your tray, you're grabbing what you have, right? But look at us right now. What do we have? We've got 22 people on here right now. If 22 of us were in line to go and hit that buffet, and I start off, I'm first in line because I'm hungry and I got there early and I'm like really jonesing for something, right? So I'm going in, right? And little do I know, I don't know, but maybe I had COVID. Maybe I'm not showing any symptoms. I feel great. And I go like this, I touch my face and I grab a tong, I'm putting some salad on. And then Chef Mike comes behind me, he grabs that. Then comes Terry, then comes Brenda, Shayla, Ida Hosa, Jade, Peter, Stephen, Damon, the list goes on and on and on. So to eliminate that, this is exactly what Chef Mike and what Bridget is experiencing in a resort. Guess what? Now it's here. Plus that glass shield, oftentimes you're gonna see a plexiglass shield. There's not gonna be this interface, this contact between the server and the customer, depending upon the location, if you can, you know, manage that. But definitely in a service style, right? That customer's gonna stay over there. And I know I've been, you know, I'm a cook behind and I've been washing my hands. I'm following strict sanitary guidelines. There's going to be little to no, potentially, hopefully, contamination. Instead of having the risk of 22 of us touching it, there's one. And that one person, yeah, chef.
And it's interesting too, like just a little off subject, but you know, the industry is adapting, like salespeople, they're coming up, like I've been getting bombarded with emails. They're coming up with, like, in your dining room, they're coming up with plastic plexi walls that you can roll and separate the tables. You know, it's like, you know, people are really trying hard to think how we can get these restaurants going. And they're coming up with everything. Like I mentioned, the air shooting the gloves open and you just slide your hand into it, to plexi walls in between each table that are movable and cleanable. They're coming up with anything they can think of to try to get our industry back up and going in a safe way, you know?
Exactly. Because as soon as things get out of control again, guess what we're going to probably see? Another shutdown, right? And that's the last thing I think the world wants, and the last thing the restaurant industry needs, okay? So in order to make that work, we have to be extremely cautious. We need to take the right steps. We need to look at, depending upon the country that you're working in, the CDC, the FDA, regulations, guidance. How do you make it safe? Like Chef Mike was saying, hey, guess what? He's like, I'm not even going out to restaurants right now. I live downtown Chicago. I've been cruising around. I got a little city bike, you know, that I can pop on and pop off. And I go around and I just look, because right now we have open patios. Patios are open. There's no inside dining, but open air dining is okay. And we all know that 6-foot roll, right? I'm looking around and I'm thinking, you gotta be kidding me. You've got a two-seater here, and you've got a 4-seater right there. And there's literally, once the customers sit down and push their chair back, right? Because it's one thing when those chairs are tucked in underneath your table. It's another thing once the chair's pulled out, somebody sits down, right? Now I've just taken up an extra at least 1.5 feet, if not 2 feet. And if that person behind me, kitty corner, is also taking another 2 feet, now 2 out of 6, we're looking at about, maybe if you're lucky, 2 feet in between us. Sure, our heads are faced opposite ways, but guess what? I have no desire to do that. No, thank you. I'll take a pass. Put me in the corner away from everybody. I don't want it. All right? Plus, masks. Are the servers, are the waiters, are the waitstaff wearing masks? Are they wearing gloves? How frequently are they changing those gloves? Because I know, who's ever seen this? Who's ever seen this? Let's think about this. Has anybody ever seen somebody working, you know, fast casual place? They've got their gloves on, and then you see them with their gloves punching something in the cash register, or grabbing their phone, doing something, and then going back. Yeah. Cross-contamination. Okay, this happens. This happens a lot. And it's not that anybody's doing it intentionally. It's like, it's just, people make mistakes. People aren't thinking about this, right? Foodborne illnesses and cross-contamination have been happening since the beginning of time, when food was shared and spread, okay? That's just the nature of the beast. It's gonna happen, right? But, yeah, Chef.
And you don't realize how much you touch your face until you wear one of these, because I go through like 7, 8 of them a day, you know, and it's just like quick little, you know, adjustments, or, you know, you just, you know, like, you know, that's, you really do touch your face a lot in a day. I don't care who you are. You think you're the cleanest person in the world. You're always touching your face or something, your ear, behind there. And you know, I'm an eagle eye about that. Whenever I go out, I'm like, you know, this is back before this pandemic. You know, I'm a little bit of, you know, paranoid, and I watch the people. Oh, he touched his ear. Is he going to go wash his hands? You know, does he touch his nose? Is he going to go wash his hands? You know, so now everyone's going to be very aware of it right now, extremely aware. So when you get back into the industry, people are going to be really looking at you.
100%. 100%. So service styles. Changing. Service itself is changing. We're seeing that, like I said, huge demand for curbside pickup to go, mobile units, right? Where you place an order and then it's prepared and it's put in a box and you go to that box. I'm going to pick up a visual in case any of you have never seen this. I saw it a couple years ago, a place called Wow Bow, and they had one, and I'm going to see if I can get this visual to pull up because it's pretty crazy. It's not necessarily my style, but people like it. Let's see, it's like mobile. Let's see if we can get it. I think this is it. Let's see if we can get this visual. Yeah, okay. I think we'll be able to get a visual on this one. 1 second. See if we can get see photos. It might give us, darn. Yeah, okay. This is not ideal, but it's going to give us a little bit of an insight of what I'm talking about. This is like, you know, futuristic stuff, if you ask me. But I'm a little, oh shoot, I'm a little old school. Shooters, where are we? There we go. Okay. So this is a Wow Bow. Maybe you guys have heard of this location, of this establishment. But to give you some ideas, right? Here you go. This is pre-pandemic, by the way. This was like, hey, we've got new age cutting technology. People want this. People don't want to talk to people, right? We'll talk about that later as well. They just want to go in, click some buttons, and then get their meal. So you put your order in, and then your boxes, your meals come up in these boxes. They pop out. There's staff in the background behind this kitchen executing your meal. No interface, no, nothing's going on with that. Oh, shooters, let's see. Yeah. So as you can see, let's zoom in here a little, right? Do you see those bags in there? There's a bag in there, a bag there. Go in and pick up your order. Good. I didn't have to talk to anybody. Didn't have to see anybody. I didn't have to get close to anybody's germs. Hey, who knows? Really interesting though. We're going to see a lot of transformation. I bet we will end up seeing more of this being pushed out there in larger chains who want this, that can afford that type of technology first and foremost, right? That's not a mom and pop shop that's going to be doing that. But we already are seeing that with mobile orders for like a Starbucks or a Panera, where you call ahead, you get your order, it's sitting and waiting on that counter for you. You walk in, you grab it, you've already paid for it, and you are gone. You've just completely reduced your time of contact with others. Yeah, Chef.
The ultimate too, during the height of the pandemic, I noticed that, you know, DoorDash and all of them were really, you know, having partnerships with restaurants, just trying to bring that, the entire restaurant to your house. You know, in our area, I know that, you know, the local restaurants were really pushing the DoorDash thing to try to make it normal. Hey, you're going to get this nice meal. Like this one fine dining restaurant totally changed their business style, and they went to family style meals, you know, and, you know, $20 for baked ziti, chicken parm, you know, they just totally, it's one of my favorite places to eat at too, but they just totally changed everything. Either you can pick it up or they'll have it DoorDash to your house, you know, so that's the changing industry. That's what some of these mom and pops had to do to survive. If they even survived. I know they did, because they did a good marketing job, you know.
100%. Adaptability, right? That is the key to success in this industry. And that doesn't just go for service or how you operate or how you get your food to your customers or how you get your menu out there or your word of mouth, your name. It goes even down to trends, right? What foods are you servicing? Adaptability. Sure, some places they're known for something, they're gonna stay that, like, let's like talk about like a classic Italian-American spot. They're not gonna start introducing new stuff. They know what they have, they sell, it works, right? Of course. They're not gonna start introducing like a shakshuka into their menu, right? Okay? No, of course not. Why would they? But maybe they think, okay, well, we could at least put like a gluten-free pasta on, right? Maybe. All right, we'll have that as an option. Sure, they're not straying too far away from their core and their identity. Remember we talked about this in previous weeks, the identity of your establishment, okay, and how important that is. Going all over the place. Who are you? What do you serve? Right? So, a little bit of flexibility is great. You got to follow those trends to some extent, right? But like I said, you're not going to go way out in far left field. But adaptability, flexibility, seeing what's new, innovation, even you know, the idea of service styles. Let's tie this back. How often are we going to a place where we're doing, you know, French cart, the cart is being pushed around and you're getting to choose your desserts from, right? They've got the desserts plated out or cheese under these domes. Rarely, right? That's gone out of vogue, okay? Super fine end dining has gone out of vogue, right? Because now almost everywhere is cranking out amazing food. You can find fantastic food at a spot around the corner or at a high-end fine dining spot. It's not regulated to white tablecloth anymore. We're seeing shifts in our industry. You think about classic French, okay? Classic French cuisine. Yes, that is, in my belief, your basic, right? You know, classic French cuisine, you understand knife cuts, you understand sauce making, you can expand, you can make anything, okay? You understand principles of how to maintain and control heat and execute proper consistencies of sauces, stocks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Vegetables, legume cookery, meat cookery, all of those, right? Fish cookery, all of those. You understand those basic principles, okay? But how many French restaurants are out there? French restaurants are kind of dying. Doesn't mean the technique is dying. Never. Obviously. Carême, Escoffier, this will never die. But the style of an old school stuffy French restaurant with sometimes heavier sauces or this and that, it's kind of like, it's passé, right? But you go back into the 80s, 70s, I mean, this was like, the rage. You're going out to a nice restaurant, you're going French. You're gonna have a steak frite or, you know, some escargot, and it's like, drink a little Beaujolais, okay? Really cool stuff, but changing. So, being aware of those changes constantly in the industry, what we're presented with right now, what you might see if you were in the industry and you've taken a pause, or some of you are still working throughout the pandemic and COVID, the changes like Bridget's been talking about, the changes that she's seen. I know Bonnie as well, who's works at a university, all the changes that she's been seeing as well. A lot of you, Shandy as well, I think, a lot of you are seeing changes. But anybody who is working in the industry, take the time off and are gonna re-enter the industry, you're gonna say, whoa, this is a whole new place. So be prepared to adapt and be ready to adapt and ready to take it and rock it. Okay, so you can be successful. So, Bridget, I see your hand up, or was that from earlier?
Yes, chef.
Yeah.
You know, about the COVID, we put on the hotel, they put sign on the floor. They tell you have to 6 feet away, but the customer don't care. You know, they don't wait until you try to protect them, but they don't care. They don't wear masks. They can wait. You just serve them. They just try to put his hand or her hand. They don't care. So it's really hard.
I agree. You're totally right. I mean, there are some things, especially at
they act like a kid. You know, they act like it's nothing. Just try to. You have to say, please, sir, can you wait a minute? I have to give it to you. Don't put your hand. So they're mad, but we don't have choice.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. And especially in a resort situation where people are accustomed to going in, you know, sitting in line and grabbing and taking whatever they want. It's a huge change. And it's a different situation where that's really tough, because in a normal setting, say at a regular restaurant, if customers were being inappropriate or doing stuff that they shouldn't, you as a manager of a restaurant could say, hey, you know what? You do it in a very professional, good way. Or maybe you say, hey, you know what, we're trying to protect everybody for everybody's safety and health. You do need to wear a mask in here, and you do need to stand, you know, spread apart from people. There's definitely a way about handling it, but in a resort, it's a little bit of a tougher situation because you know, it's just a different situation than an independent restaurant or something like that, where you don't have as much control, especially since the guests are going to be there.
It's really hard.
Yeah,
the guests at the resort they feel entitled because they're paying for their resort experience, you know, but they got to understand that there's somewhat of a pandemic going on, and you know, they should you're probably in a really tough position. I'm lucky, everyone's pretty understandable. I hardly get any pushback, so.
Yeah, and I think that's a big point to bring up, Chef. The different types of locations, you're going to have different customers and different demands from your customers, your paying guests, right? In a hospital setting, hey, they're gonna be like, yeah, definitely, we need to take, we're in a much more, susceptible environment. Whereas opposed to the resort, it's like, I'm on vacation, I'm relaxed, I don't even want to think about this. Who cares? I've had a few drinks, I'm not even paying attention. But it's pretty interesting, right? As opposed to going into for, a healthcare facility where you're thinking, all right, people are sick here, I need to be really strict, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, it's very interesting. I would highly suggest going around, not necessarily dining if you don't feel comfortable, but going around and just observe. I went to go pick up a 6-pack of beer from a brewery that also serves food last week. And my friend that I was with didn't have a mask, so he couldn't enter. All right, I had my mask, so I can go in and grab it. But what's hilarious is then all the guests that are sitting at the table, none of them have masks on. So you literally need to have a mask, and this is where laws and legality of situations become a little wishy-washy, right? Where how are we actually protecting? If I have to wear a mask to just cross the threshold to come into the restaurant, but then I get seated at a table and I can take my mask off, and those tables aren't spread far enough apart. Is this working? Is this going to work?
And to add to that point is, I remember when they first started off, 25% capacity. I drove by Applebee's when they first started it, and the place was packed. So who's policing that? Who's policing the 25%? Who's policing the 50%? Nobody, because, oh, okay, we'll just let you guys open 25%. And of course, the business person, they're dying, they're going to let everybody in. They don't, they want to survive, Like I said, I wouldn't want to be that place to have a major, where they isolate it. Says, oh, everybody went to the Applebee's this night and it was packed, and everyone got sick from it. It's just tough, 25% and 50%. I don't know what it's now. Is it 50% now?
I think so.
But who's policing that? That's the whole thing. This is in Florida. I'm in Florida right now. I believe it's 50%. And no one's policing it.
Right. Who's policing it, Chef? And let's talk about another thing. Can you survive with 25% occupancy? Can you? Exactly. No. Chef's like, no way. Can you survive with 50% occupancy? No.
Nope.
Okay. That is really difficult to do. So then you have to depend on that other source of delivery, curbside, third-party platforms that are doing delivery services, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Family meals, right? So, does anybody have any questions about that? Otherwise, we're going to hop into a little bit more material for this class and go over the assignment. All right, cool. Let's hop into the class page. I just want to go over some stuff with you all, and then we will cover the assignment and talk about production, which rolls into your assignment for this week. All right, cool. So here we go. Week 5, right? So we've got menu and production, we got service in the menu, and then we've got the discussion and a knowledge check, okay? So menu and production. Let's hop into this. Let me just pop into service and menu as well. I think we're pretty much covered. You can read up, check out those articles that I sent you, but this service in the menu is going to, I don't think we need to spend a ton of time. We covered a lot of this. I would rather spend a little, if we have extra time, we can go deeper into this. But remember, this is about how do you present yourself? Remember that same theme that we've been talking about, how you want to be consistent. If you're a bar and a grill, you're going to have some casual service. You're not going to have waiters in vests and doing white glove service, right? So making sure that you match your service and your establishment, your atmosphere all flow together. You're also not going to want to sit down at a fine dining restaurant and be treated like you're not paying an arm and a leg, right? You want good, attentive, clean service, You want your glasses and your silverware to be polished. Well, if I'm sitting somewhere else, I don't really care if my silverware isn't polished. I mean, do I want a clean glass? Yeah, but do I expect my cutlery to be polished? No way. Okay, so thinking about that. So this is talking about the attire, right? Here's that fine dining that we were talking about, right? White tablecloth. Popping through here, this goes a little bit deeper. Like I said, the article that I sent out goes even deeper into English and Russian and American and different styles of service. So check that out. But hop into this, check out those styles of service. You know, like I said, a lot of these, you're not going to see that often anymore. Okay. But you will sometimes. This is touches on what we've been talking about: counter service, cafeteria, buffet, room service, right? Just go in, check all of this out, answer those questions, and you'll be good. All right. So menu and production. We're shifting gears a little bit. Okay. Remember was it last week or the week before? We were talking about, I think it was last week, and about, I think it must have been last week. We were talking about stock, right? Making stock in-house or not. Yankee was like, I'm using chicken or veg base. I'm ordering this. I'm getting my ranch outsourced. Steven was like, no way, I'm making my stock in-house. I've got another kitchen that I can use so I can make my own stock because I have space. On a food truck, I wouldn't. So it's thinking about, what can your restaurant kitchen handle, right? Labor-wise, space-wise, equipment-wise, plus skill set-wise. A lot of factors should contribute. Somebody who's just been flipping burgers at Mickey D's might not have a ton of experience and say, hey, can you go make that I need to make that vinaigrette or buttermilk ranch or Thousand Island from scratch. Can you go whip that up? Like, I don't know. Hey, can you throw me on the grill station, please, instead? Yeah, I can do that. Okay? So think about it. Then that involves teaching, training, which is fine. But there's that element that's needed there. Okay? So getting into production, right? Prep. Chef, how many staff members do you have at your location?
24.
Okay, 24. And what's that looking like prep wise versus?
Well, I got a few different stations. I got the production station in the back, which does all the cafeteria food, which we had a limit on menu. That's only one person. Then we have our line that does room service for the patients. It's room service. They order what they want, and we cook it and send it up. One cook, and then 2 cooks at lunch, and then 1 cook at night. Then we have an expediter at the other side of that to expedite the food, make sure everything is proper, looking good, and has everything on it. And then we have our, we have a cafeteria, and we have our cafeteria attendants, which we had to hire more people because we have to serve all the food, because we had to add to our FTEs, that means full-time employees. And we have obviously someone at the register. And then we have, the cafeteria has a production person to making salads and sandwiches and all that, but everything has to be wrapped up. No more stuff to order. Then obviously we have like, they're called runners, but they're waiters. They're like waiters, but they work in a hospital setting and they deliver the food room service style. But they're wearing masks, and then in some cases they have to put on face shields to go into the rooms because they're being extra precautious. But they don't go to the COVID rooms. But yeah, we have a slew of different stations. Okay, Marvin, you have your hand up? You like to ask the question?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a question. What kind of hospital is this? Because you have like blew me away with this. You said it's a hospital, correct? And
Yeah.
what kind of a hospital? I'm saying, I guess You said
It's
the
a-
room service, the waiter, they can order food,
Well,
like
yeah,
room
it's,
service.
yeah, we have room service. It's just a regular, we're in a regular hospital, regular care hospital. We're not upscale hospital. We're just a regular hospital. But the way the industry is going now, people are demanding good food at a hospital. People want good food. Yes, you're sick. But you know what? And they actually deserve good food because, there's really not too much to be in a hospital if you're in a hospital. Like you have that old cliche, oh my God, hospital food, the worst food on the planet. I would like to think that, in my 20 years in this field, that we definitely changed the perception of hospital food. Like I said, we put filet mignon. We have filet mignon on, we do specials. We have filet mignon. We have shrimp scampi. We have pork tenderloin with demi-glaze. We serve an airline chicken. We got Cornish game hand. We do all nice things. And I designed the recipes, to be healthy. You can eat good food, and you can also eat good food healthy. And we give it flavor. I don't use salt. We don't use a lot of salt. Actually, there's no salt in the patient production line. There's not one drop of salt in any of those recipes. We use tricks, lemon acts like a salt, it gives that little tangy, that little salt, that craving for salt. I use a nice organic salt-free seasonings that make the difference, I use real butter. For my scampi, I use, butter. I make sure it's the proper amount so we're not, giving them what they're not supposed to be getting calorie-wise. But yeah, I designed everything to make it healthy and enjoyable. But yeah, we're just a regular hospital, And like I said, and we have different demographics. I try to cater to all the demographics. We got good old Southern food. We got the little bit of the special, but everybody likes a good steak. So that's why I threw the filet mignon. Oh, and Sunday we have prime rib. We got prime rib on the menu. I'm getting killed a little bit on cost, but I massed, like when I foreseen the beef market going up, I bought a few $100 pounds to get them through.
I know if I get sick, I need to go to your hospital because I swear hospital food don't taste like that up here.
Well, like I said, you're going to see a change in the industry because what's happening is, in order for hospitals to get paid today, they have to do surveys, and it's all tied in with the government regulations and, how much money they get reimbursed. If my department scores high, we help our hospital altogether get more of a reimbursement. That's why, like I said, right now we're 89th percentile in the nation in food quality, which is good. It's like if we took a test, we got an 89. You can't please everybody all the time, plus we have a lot of, clear liquid diets and mechanical soft and purees and all the stuff that, they're not going to brag about it. Like, oh man, I had the best puree steak in the world. It's not going to happen, but yeah, this is the part of the industry I'm in. But like I said, I'm fortunate enough that I was able to keep my feet everywhere. We had a huge catering business where we did the upscale stuff, and it all tied together, so thank you for your question. Bridget? I probably put her to sleep. I was talking too much.
No, I think Bridget might have been from earlier, and I think she was
okay.
from earlier, so we're all good. All right. So yeah, tons of things to think about within this industry. I want to hop back into this class page and then tie it up so that we are staying pretty close to our hour mark. And let's hop back into this class. So something I want to talk about here, right? We're talking about production, right? We're talking about how many staff, right? How many people do you have on staff? This is the big question: buy prepared or make from scratch. All right, we're going to talk about that. Okay, that is what your discussion forum is going to be all about. Like we said, we already started that conversation. Are you making stock, making dressing? Are you going to make cakes? Are you gonna make croissants? But you wanna have croissants on your menu. Are you gonna make a croissant? That's gonna take a lot of space up if you're doing, you need a dough laminator, right? How much are you gonna, no way, I'm gonna order those. There's a bakery that makes fantastic croissants. I'm gonna outsource those. Sure, I'm gonna pay a little bit more, but I don't need to buy the equipment, I don't need to pay for trained staff, and I don't need to waste time for production. That's a great option, right? What about French fries? What do you guys think? French fries. Make them in-house? Out or buy them pre-cut, frozen.
I would say if it's like Five Guys, but they make it in-house, so they you know, they does it with the potatoes. So I would say in-house would be more cheaper than buying them outside.
So you bring up a great point, Marvin, right? We're talking about a burger and fry spot. So what's the lure there? The great burgers, the great fries. That is part of the reason why Five Guys or In-N-Out make the fries in-house, because they have a limited menu. They can take that and make those fries in-house because that's what's bringing those customers back, right? But say I'm just maybe I run a chill little lunch like a cafe, all right? And I do some, I have different side options that come. I've got a soup and salad combo. I've got a frittata or quiche of the day, and those come with either a side salad, a fruit salad, French fries, potato chips, potato salad. Maybe I'm not making the French fries in-house. They don't sell that much, and I'm getting a pretty good price on one, and it's a lot less prep, and I don't have to worry about, guess what? We all know what happens to potatoes, right? They have to be stored in water, otherwise oxidation, okay? It's a lot easier for me to have a frozen batch. I've got an order, I drop them in. But I'm making that potato salad from scratch, Now the potato salad, am I making the mayonnaise from scratch or am I buying that mayo? What do you think?
You might make it from scratch.
Buying it.
Depends how much you're going through.
There you go, Chris, right? Not only how much you're going through, but do you need to take the time and effort to make from scratch mayonnaise? What's the shelf life on mayo? Hey, Shayla, and I'm not dissing homemade mayonnaise. I will eat that by the bucket if I can handle it. I love it. But realistically, is a restaurant going to be able to maintain that? We're talking about fresh eggs, yolks, oil. How many days does that sit? How much are we going through? Maybe if I run a special every once in a while and I want to have this really great, amazing, silky, full of flavor aioli, yeah, I'm going to crank out a special one on occasion, but I'm not going to be making mayo every few days. No way. Too much of a risk. Too much labor. Not going to happen. Okay? So these are the things we need to start thinking about. What do you purchase in-house? What do you make in-house? What do you outsource? And remember, there's a reason behind it for the type of establishment, okay? It's not a cut and dry for every place. Never. Okay? You have to think about, well, like Marvin said, okay, so the burger spot, yeah, burger and fries, they're gonna make those in-house. Yeah. How much are you going through? Chris was saying, we know Chris makes cheesecakes, right? Maybe he's outsourcing, maybe somebody uses Chris as an outsource for Chris's cheesecake because Chris's cheesecakes are awesome. He has a lot of options, different flavor profiles. I can customize it. And I just don't have the oven space or the labor skill set to make cheesecakes that come out consistently like Chris's cheesecake. So I'm not even gonna waste my time doing that. Okay? This is what we need to start to analyze and think about what you're going to do in-house or your potential establishment. Okay, so that's one part of that. This goes into your discussion forum. This week's discussion forum, you're going to log in as always, and you're going to get, you're going to pull, it's going to pull from, let me see, you've got options. These are some of the options that you might get, all right? Remember, it's all random. French fries, ranch dressing, hamburger buns, tomato soup, dill pickles, mayo, chicken stock, whipped cream, ice cream, cheesecake, jam fillings, buttercream icing, fondant, sugar cookies, right? I think that's actually more in the baking and pastry, but who knows? Maybe somebody's going to get that. Cheesecake, biscotti, all right? You're going to get those, and you need to analyze and say, what do you think you should prep in-house? And give reasons, okay? That's what we need to have you do, all right, for this assignment. And that's, see, some of you already got on that. That's great. And that basically just, you need to defend your reason. Okay, why? If you want full points for that response. And then, remember, we want to engage with 2 classmates, promoting that discussion. Saying, well, wait, wouldn't it be better to make this in-house versus that? Well, how much, what type of establishment is that going to be? Start thinking, right? I want you, this is just like little ideas to get those juices flowing, okay? Does any of you have any questions regarding that?
So this is the week that we have to do the forum.
Yep, week 5, you got a discussion forum and you got a knowledge check, and then you've got your general readings.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have a question. In that, when we're doing the forum, how many words should it be? Like as far as type?
I mean, we're looking for, you know, a solid, you know, a small paragraph. Don't just say it's better to prepare in house. I'm not gonna. You're not gonna get any points for that. You get 1 point.
Thinking about it.
Yeah. Think about it. Give reasoning behind it. Give an explanation, right? Like we just said. Why? Just what we were talking about. Okay. Hey, and Shayla, maybe defend that mayonnaise. Think if you get manna, right? Or somebody else does. Think of a reason why you would make mayonnaise in-house. Think of a reason why you would make cheesecake in-house. Why would you outsource ice cream? Defend that, all right? Give some thought behind it. Remember, this is 10 points of you know, in your discussion forum, adds to your final grade. So put some effort into this, right? We want to see some thought behind it. This is one of your last classes. So, two-word answers. Come on.
Are we allowed to use information from online if we have, like, say for instance, I'm discussing the mayonnaise and I found out who made the first mayonnaise and I got an article behind it. Am I allowed to share the article as well?
Yes, of course, but sure, add an article. I'm that more knowledge shared between one another is always beneficial. Of course.
Thank you, Chef.
You're welcome, Shayla. All right, well, it's 6 o'clock. I'm going to round out this last little topic that I just want to get onto before we sign off for the evening, which is making food ahead, prepping food ahead of time, okay? In CU 222, which most of you are all in or recently took it, we just made confit, or maybe maybe it's in the oven right now. Hopefully soon to be out. But maybe you made confit, all right? And I want to have confit on my menu. Is this something that I'm going to be making day of? I got an order coming in. Oh my gosh, I got to make the confit. No way.
You gotta prep it.
That's right. That needs to be prepped. Remember, we talked about this in CU220. You got to prep that, hold it. That way, when order comes in, you're just reheating that. Okay? What about risotto? Am I making risotto to order?
I'm gonna prep it too. I'm gonna put it in the fridge.
Yeah, you're gonna par cook it, right? You're gonna par cook that risotto. You're gonna cook that risotto about two-thirds, okay? 2/3. Then you're gonna spread it out on a sheet tray, throw it in the walk-in, let it cool down rapidly, right? You're gonna take a little bit out on your 6-pan for your station when you're setting up your station, and then when you get an order, you're finishing it that last third of the way. You've got some stock there. You're gonna finish it because when that risotto order with the duck confit comes in, and I got a steak, I got Chef Mike's filet mignon coming up, and I've got Marvin's grilled fish. how am I gonna, it's timing, right? You gotta make sure that filet mignon is coming out at the perfect time. That grilled fish is coming out nice and piping hot. It's not sitting on the plate cooling down while I'm sitting here still trying to make risotto. So start thinking about this. What items do you make ahead? What items do you prep? Are you gonna par cook off all your pasta? What do you guys think?
Yes.
It has mayo, yes.
And you're gonna have a hot, if you're cranking out a bunch of pasta, right? Let's say I'm working the pasta station, all right? Now it depends upon the establishment, okay? Again, because maybe my pickup order, I know my pickup orders are 9 minutes and I'm fine. And I want my pasta dropped as soon as I get a call in. I'm timing that out with my apps and everything. And they know that they're getting freshly dropped pasta. But if I'm getting hit like crazy, no way. I'm gonna have boiling hot water. I'm gonna have a hot bowl of water. It basically gets dropped in a hot bath, quickly reheats, boom. I toss it into a saute pan, right? And I finish it off, right, on the stovetop. Because I don't have time to wait 9, 10, 11 minutes for that pasta to boil. Okay. You think that hot station Bridget was talking about, ravioli? Are we making ravioli back there? No way, right? We're gonna have that hot pot of water, drop it in, boom. Ravioli is a little different because different, if you're cooking from frozen or from raw, depends. But all these things you need to start thinking about. What do you prep ahead of time? What do you make a la minute? What sauces can you make a la minute? Which can't you? How can you par cook and hold? Are you par cooking a bunch of burgers off? Not unless you're not unless you know you're about to get a lunch rush and you have 250 people coming in. And you're gonna par cook and maybe you're gonna throw them in the oven, right? Because you're you're not even doing temps. We're just like, get that burger out, cranking it. Grilled chicken, a bunch of grilled chicken, roasted chicken. So start thinking about how the flow of a kitchen works. Chef, anything you want to contribute to that?
Nope, everything's great.
Okay.
You covered it all.
Okay. Getting excited. I miss cooking. All right. So class, does anybody have any of those questions? I know I just went over that briefly. So there's a lot of information to take in.
Oh yeah, I can add one thing.
Yeah,
if anyone
sure.
needs any kind of tutoring help, I'm here. I don't know if everybody was in the other class. My name is Mike. My information will be up. You can reach out to me and I can give you a hand.
Thank you.
Okie-dokies.
Awesome. Class, let's crush it this last 2 weeks. Knock it out of the ballpark, finish strong. Any missed work, knock it out this weekend. Take advantage. I know it's gorgeous out there, but the sooner you get it done, the less stress off your back, sooner you can enjoy summer break. All right? So you got questions, you got myself and Chef Mike here to help. We're gonna be grading tonight, wrapping up Ce187 Wk. And yeah, catch you next week for the last rodeo, the last show. So see you all. Thank you all. And have a beautiful night.
Have a great night, everyone. Okay.
Thank you,
Good night,
Chef.
everybody.
Night, Chef.
Good night,
Bye.
all.
Bye.
Bye.